Michael Cohen set to face cross-examination by former President Donald Trump's defense team today after being grilled by the prosecution on hush money payments he said he made on behalf of the former president.
Cohen's honesty likely to come into question after the former lawyer, previously served jail time for lying to Congress under oath. Let's get right to Good Day's Briella Tomassetti. She is live outside that courthouse in Lower Manhattan with more on what we can expect. Good morning, Briella.
Yeah, to Shani and Dan, good morning to both of you. Former President Donald Trump is holding firm in denying any wrongdoing, but like the both of you just said, Michael Cohen's credibility will surely come into question when he is back on the stand today, this time for cross-examination.
Michael, any comment?
Michael Cohen didn't have much to say to reporters as he departed for court on Monday, but once he took the stand before Judge Juan Merchan, that all changed. During about 5 hours of a highly anticipated testimony, former President Donald Trump's longtime fixer implicated his one-time boss in the Stormy Daniels hush money scheme. The prosecution's star witness testified that he paid Daniels $130,000 at Trump's direction to stay quiet about her alleged sexual encounter with Trump so that word wouldn't get out during the 2016 presidential campaign, adding that Trump had promised to reimburse him for the money he fronted. Prosecutors allege that after reimbursing Cohen, Trump falsified business records to cover up the nature of those payments. The former president denies it ever happened.
He has been prepared profusely by the prosecutor.
Criminal defense attorney Arthur Ayadala, who isn't representing anyone involved in this case, weighed in on Cohen's bombshell testimony.
It's really going to depend on how he reacts during cross-examination.
Cohen also testified about working with former National Enquirer editor David Pecker to arrange hush money payments to former Playboy model Karen McDougal. In 2018, Cohen released an audio recording in which he and his former client can be heard discussing how they'd buy the rights to a story about an alleged affair Trump had with her years earlier. Yesterday, he said he recorded that conversation to ensure that Pecker remained loyal.
Michael Cohen definitely puts some pieces together for the prosecution.
Trump's defense team, on the other hand, argues Cohen is a flawed witness. A convicted felon, Cohen pleaded guilty to a variety of crimes in 2018, including tax evasion, lying to Congress, and to his role in the alleged hush money scheme. The former president had this to say after the day's proceedings.
We have a corrupt judge, and we have a judge who's highly conflicted, and he's keeping me from campaigning.
Altogether, Trump is charged with 34 counts of falsifying business records. To break that down even further, 11 invoices, 11 checks, and 12 vouchers, all of which are allegedly tied to Cohen's monthly reimbursements. But for now, we're live here in Lower Manhattan. Dan, we'll send it back to you.
All right, Briella, thank you very much.